righty. Let's see what's going on. Happy Friday afternoon. Today we're going to talk about no meat for the economic hungry. There's what people expect, and then there's what people get. A lot of people want to have, let's see. Okay, here we go. Cool. Today we're going to be talking about no meat for the economic hungry. Right now, there's a lot of people who are getting hungry. The jobs report came out. There was over 300,000 jobs created in January. Unemployment's 4%. Question: why are so many people still struggling? There's no meat for the hungry. There is no economic banquet. There's no steak. There's no eggs. You can get that cheap, high fructose food all day long. You can get a bag of chips, super cheap. You can get some synthetic potatoes, super cheap. You can get all types of stuff, super cheap. Now, one of the problems that happens with this is you have so many people who are hold on a second. Make sure that we are live. Okay, there we go. And let's see. There we go. It's a little slow to get started up. But before we get too deep in this, remember how I said I had a lot of problems with eBay and just a very few items. This is one of the items. This is a Apple Watch, and I'm going to explain some that I'm getting ready to do for the people of money, income, and profit this month. And everybody should be added on this month. Okay. So this is an Apple Watch. Now, why is this important? I have one, and I use it to track my time. This is what I do. I'm always hitting alarms when I eat, how many hours until it's time to work out, or I can work out, how many hours did I work. It's got all kinds of nifty timers on here. So what I'm going to do, and just to be very clear, to be very, very upfront, this is not a sweepstakes or giveaway, none of that, because essentially if you have a contest on YouTube, there has to be no purchase required. No. This is nothing like this. This is a perk of profit income. It's a perk of money, income, and profit. There we go. What I'm going to do is every month, this is an ongoing thing, the best students will have a crack at this. Somebody's going to win this month because it's February the 1st, so we can start this off proper. And to help you manage your time better, there's all types of apps and all this kind of stuff. So this is a Apple 3 watch, and we will be giving this away end of February. So some lucky member of money, income, and profit is going to get this watch. Free shipping too. And then we're going to get into more tools and more things. There's, once again, the basic financial education course will be finished this weekend. Then we'll start the new thing Monday. So you must be a member. And all right, how do you get the gift? And this is going to be tricky, and it's going to lock a lot of people out the frame. You must comment on the videos about your experience with money, income, and profit using your real name. You can have your screen name, but you need to put the name that you signed up with to the course. That's the only way that I'm going to know it's you. So that's what you have to do. So everyone that says, hey, I'm on this module, I'm learning how to do this, this is what it's done for me, you leave that comment. Then end of the month, I'll see who has the best comments. It's not about the most comments. It's not about that. It's about the best comments. It's about people taking their time to go through the information. So that's what we're going to do. Now let's talk about this no meat thing. And also, there's people's like, man, you've changed up your fit. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about it right now. I was going back over some of my old Craigslist accounts, right? And I noticed something that not just women, but men, everybody has a very expressive way of dressing, a very eclectic way of dressing. And I've noticed this because I went back to one account and I went back 8 years and I was just like, man, women have changed. They're dressing so differently now. The men are dressing differently. And this is coming. Man weaves are a real thing. You will see dudes out here rocking high top fades, locks, curls, S curls, all this stuff, and it's going to be weave or fake hair. It's hey, if you want to get in the growth industry, go right ahead. You ain't getting any of my money because I will rock the bald head all day long. I've went through that journey many years ago, but I feel that if if you're just a little bit better, and this is something that I learned on Craigslist, I was 5 to 10% better than other dudes. That's it. It wasn't like I was heads and shoulders above everyone else. I was just maybe 5-10%. That was it. And what I noticed from that 5 or 10% differential, my gains, my yield, my results were 80-90% greater than other people. I remember this one dude who was stalking my ass. He said, "Man, you got a lot of ads. You're having success with this?" And I was like, "Absolutely." If you see someone consistently marketing in a certain way and playing an ad over and over again, they're getting results, or they would not be playing this ad over and over again. So dude tried to hop onto my ad. Well, he stole them. He literally stole them. And he didn't get the results because, once again, the 5 to 10% differential is more than just one thing. It's a process. So by managing your time, by becoming very aware of your money making activities, you're going to see a big differential in your results. I guarantee it. I can actually say without a shadow of a doubt that you will see and feel different results, because what gets measured gets done, what gets measured is looked at, and what gets measured can be changed. But if you're just going out about your day, not measuring anything, just out here hustling, just winging it, you won't know if you're in a growth pattern. A growth pattern is a certain activity that if you put more effort into it, you're going to get the results you want. But because you're not measuring what you're doing, and this is a follow up of what happened with the post of you don't need to work 80 to 100 hours. The guy did said he tracks his hours, which is something I believe everyone should do. You should track your hours. You should not just go into a shed and, it's the same as knowing your numbers. You know your financial numbers, or you should, and then you will know your work output numbers. Like this morning, someone was like, "You only work 30 hours?" Yeah, I only work 30, 35 hours a week. Now, I spend a lot more time organizing stuff, and this is why there's no meat for the hungry. If you want to get meat, you need to have stake money. And to get stake money, these are the activities that yield the money to buy steak. It sounds very simple because someone's like, "You don't track research." I do not include research in my work hours because there is no direct correlation between if I go online and I research something for 10 hours. I'm researching some stuff for one of the modules of the basic financial education course, and I've got 10, 12 hours into it, looking up stuff, going over information, figuring out how I'm going to create the training. I do not count that time as a money-making activity. And I know it's like, whoa, but you should. You're cheating yourself. You're really cheating yourself because you're not doing meat activities. Meat activities is I push this button, a dollar slides out. Push, dollar slide out. Now, the research will trickle down into the meat chute, so to speak, but it will take a moment, and it's very hard to measure. It's like, okay, I did X amount of research. What does that come up to in dollars? It's very hard to quantify that and measure that. But if I like send out so many emails, create so many emails, create so many videos, do call to action, all this stuff is trackable and measurable. And that's why I say I only work 30, 35 hours a week. Now, I spend more time in that shaping stuff up. And part of the 35 is like creating a video. Like I shoot a video, I edit a video. Those are meat producing activities. That creates the dollars, that creates the stake money. And you got to look at it like that, because once you start measuring your time like that, you're going to learn what lever to pull, what button to push. But as long as you include like, I worked 80 hours this week, but you spent maybe 60 hours on research, that's not going to move the needle. And a lot of people will say that they'll work 80, 100 hours, 80 or 100 hours a week. And when you get down to measuring what they're doing, a lot of it is on research, messing around. I'm serious. Once you start to track your time, it'll change your life. It will literally change your life. And that's where people have to be in terms of getting to that stake money. Because going back to the economic numbers, 300,000 jobs. Now, I want you to do this. Go to the Google machine and research how many times they put out a large number, then they went back and revised these numbers. This administration has a leader who lies constantly. You don't think that these lies have not filtered down to other parts of the government? They're afraid of what he's going to do, so they're not going to bring him any bad news. Not at first, because essentially the job numbers come out, and then the revisions, no one's looking at that. So the revision that happened, like the newspapers, the job numbers will be on page A. They'll be on the front page. But the revisions 4 or 5 months later, they'll be in the C section or D section. A lot of people don't get that far. So that's another thing that you have to look out for. But you got to get into money producing activities, things that you can quantify your time. Because like, I will go back to the fit thing a little bit more, because I was doing some research into human behavior. Because human behavior is very, very important into making sales. There are some people who are intuitive. They understand human behavior very well. And they know that intuitively what levers to pull to get the results they want. And if you sat them down and pointed a gun at their head and say, like, what do you do to be successful? They couldn't do it because it's intuitive. They're not actually aware of the process. They just know if I act this way, I get the results I want. And that's what happens with a lot of people who are coming on YouTube, Facebook, saying, hey, I'm doing all these things. And they think that, like a lot of the early YouTubers, they'll say, be consistent, answer your comments. The fact that you are 19 with perky WDs and a very cute face, that is a big part of your success. And, someone who's smart, she don't want to hear that. She's like, no, it's my personality. It's not these perky breasts. Or the fact that, you got muscles popping all out of your shoulders and stuff. Well, no, it's my intellect. People lie to themselves, and if they lie to themselves, they'll lie to you. So let's see. Okay, cool. Because this is going to be a little short little stream. And funny thing about the fit. And once again, I'm going through a transformation. This is something you can watch. This is something you can, observe if you want to. I went up in my closet, and because I've lost so much weight, I have very few dress clothing. So I got to go shopping. So all this stuff's going to be new. This is going to be wild. But having a better presentation will yield you all kinds of results. Seriously, because most people are dressing down. And part of it is people like me on the internet. I used to do videos with no shorts on. I just shoot my video, be in my t-shirt. It worked. More people started doing this. You will see people doing dumb stuff like riding a motorcycle with flip-flops. I don't know what's that about. And it has just become a cultural accepted thing. But if you want to move to the next level, you want to start hanging out with certain people, you'll find out that your uniform will matter greatly. What's going on? 89 Dr. Funk, Crep Junkie TV. What's up? What's up, Rainy Woman? All right, CN. What's up, Nikki? What's up, Israel? Yeah, I mean, that's us. I'm cool with being bald. I've gone through that. But many of these younger cats, if there's a way for them to rock the hot top fade, and honestly, it makes dudes look different. It makes dudes look way different. So you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it in droves. Nope, we will not be doing the man weave. You will not see me with a hot top fade. You will no, you will not see that. All right, Crep Junkie, been rocking it since 26. 89 Dr. Funk. What's up, Kindle Visual? Anthony Merritt. Diana's Orchard, disorganized, broken. That's very true because whenever my desk gets junked up, I actually include cleaning up my desk as money making activities. It doesn't take a long time. It literally takes 15, 20 minutes. But when it gets to a certain point, there's clutter, there's boxes of stuff. I'll take a moment and get it all cleaned up. And then the flow, my chi starts working again. That's right, Diana. Reggie Lee, December jobs numbers revised down. Really? Because I think they were like 222. What's up, Gunji? Eric Dorsey, Jay Preston. All right. What's up, Rashida? Thank you. Paul Perez. No, I use myfico.com. You can get one of those packages and you can monitor your stuff. It monitors all three bureaus. Hey, now, Dr. Funk, I want to offer something to everyone. There is a book on negotiation by Chris Voss. Never Split the Difference. It's a great read and you can look. Okay. On YouTube. Reggie Lee was 315. Yeah, those numbers will come down. But once again, look at the narrative. And the thing is, you can go back before Trump and see that this has happened before. This is just what they do. So, part of what's going to happen here, because someone asked if I was going to go on other YouTube channels and shows, and probably for 6 months I'm not. And the reason is I got to get all of this sexy and groomed up together and put together because whenever I go on someone's show, it's like, so what you doing? Where can people find you? And then when you're in the middle of transition, and that just doesn't translate very well. So I will not be doing any other hangouts or streams with anybody, no one. And I don't even know if I'm going to bring anyone else onto this channel. It could happen 6 months from now. I'm not going to say never, but I want to get into this new groove because, like, let's take the government workers, and that is a snapshot of America. Many people's like, they make money, they make more than average income, they should have money. When you see them, they living like you living. And this is what was so bad about it because I was like, if these folks miss another check, there's going to be some blood in the streets. And people just don't seem to understand that because, like the other person I mentioned in the group talking about 250K was middle income for salespeople. Actually, let me look that up real quick. I'm like, that ain't even close to true. Average income for salespeople. Let's see what that is because I should have looked that up. Take a wild guess what this is. Just take a wild guess. It's wow. Wow. What do you think is the average income for a salesperson? Let's see, what is this number? What year? All right, let me look at it a little bit more while y'all putting stuff in there. How much does let me see, anyone go ahead and put this in here. Yeah, it was 4%. Farrell, yep. I'll explain this again. Instead of adding you to each tier, the third tier, which I'm going to kick off this month, you'll be added to the third tier. The third tier would be a monthly membership, and it will include tier number one and tier number two. So that's what's going to happen. Because this is a good lesson. Once you start making moves like this, you've got some people who are immediately make the change. Then you have people who will make the change on the weekend. Then you have people who will make the change 2 weeks from now. Then you'll have people who bought it and they just want it available, and then they'll pop up 3 months from now. So we'll have this cycle of people constantly asking for information, and literally, I put it out 15 times or more, and I still had this. And I got a trick that we're going to do this one, because I'm going to have my assistant directly email everyone that's on the payment plan with a link, so there could be no I didn't get it, and it's going to be a direct email from her account. It will not be part of the email client MailChimp or the new one. I haven't even sent an email from the new email client yet. All right, so let me go back. Reigning woman, I've gotten my personal credit up to 7. Make more money. Before you start going out and getting debt, you want to get your cash flow up. In general, government workers are complacent. I think more people. Lieutenant Johnson, 45K. Eric Dorsey, 38,000. Crep Junkie, 75. Joe Ray, 42. Reigning woman, 60 and 35. Ganja cheated. All right. So I'm going to read to you. The average salesperson makes $42,000 a year. Now, one of the reasons that I was like, whoa, that's really deep, is when I started at Rent-A-Crate in 2000-ish, my base was 38,000. That was almost 20 years ago. So adjusted for inflation, if you're making 42, that would be the same as making 22 20 years ago. If I was making, if I was a salesperson and I got a job making what I was making at Rent-A-Crate, that 38 would matriculate to like 70. See, this is one of the reasons that the low unemployment does not impress me, because the living wage has not gone up. It just started ticking up a few years ago, and we're not talking about leaps and bounds. We're talking about like 1%. You still have lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to inflation. So 1% ain't going to do anything. To bring people whole, you're going to need to see wage increases of 30 and 40%. And the only way you can do that for yourself is to start a business. That's the only way you can give yourself those kind of raises, because it's just not going to happen with most jobs. It's just not. And here's something else I found to be interesting just for that conversation. How much do sales representatives make? The median annual salary for a sales representative is $57,000, 2016. The best 10% made roughly 121. 2016. This is the best made, which is very much in line with what I put out, that 250K is not middle income, it's not above, it's exceptional income. 250K a year is exceptional income in virtually every city, because if you make it 250K a year, you're going to be doing like 23,000 a month. So if you want to pay 7K in rent, you'd be a little bit over 30% of your income. So you could pay that rent and still have thousands of dollars left. So 250K for a single person in New York, in Los Angeles, you're doing okay. That's why it's exceptional income, because from New York to California, you can live not okay, but as a single person making 250, you can live very well. extremely well. So I should have did a little bit more research because that would have been nice to put in there on that topic. All right, let's go back into these comments. All right, let me go back. Uh, 89 Dr. Funk, we won't be talking about that now. We're going to be talking about no meat for the hungry. It is the blinding Buddha. Thank you, Anthony Johnson. At playing the bass and Reggie Lee. And what he means is if you're a part of a professional selling organization, your numbers, they're going to sit down and say, like, okay, this year you should do 2 million. If you're, or, just depend upon the industry, what kind of sales. But you hit plan, that means you get to keep your job. You exceed plan, next year they're going to reward you with a higher quota. So, but that's pretty much total salary. A lot of salespeople are just salespeople on a salary. There's not a lot to have salary plus commission. And then the best commission only salespeople, these companies usually provide a lot of training and resources. All right, Diana. Pretty much not today. What's up, Start Market Bill? Yeah, because the thing is, we're going to see a lot of change. And part of the thing is, the change we're going to see is not just going to be economic, it's going to be social. Not to beat the horse or get too deep into it, but this thing with trans people, it's going to explode. And it's going to be very interesting because the conservative right is at this moment is trying to repeal abortion and make abortion extremely hard to get. So you're gonna see some stuff here, and if you don't have money, you're gonna be forced to endure a lot of things that if you had money you would not. Like if I ever had any more kids, they would never go to public school. Not happening. And it's not to say that these kids who go to public school are bad kids. They're not. But when I was in first grade, there was maybe 18 of us in that class, in our first grade class. And Miss Nichols had a teaching assistant. So it was a teacher and an assistant for 18 kids, right? Today, a teacher may have 38 to 40 kids by herself. There's just no way that she can, she could do her best. Maybe she can be innovative. Maybe she could work 80, 90 hours a week on, crafting her curriculum to help these kids out. But in private school, class size is limited. So, and also, if you have troublemakers, public school, you can't get rid of them. You get chance after chance. Private school, see ya. Reggie, most plans are 50-50, 60-40, or 70-30 base commission splits. I'm going to tell you the kind of plan I had. And I've talked to a lot of salespeople. They didn't have this kind of plan. I had a draw for 3 months of 3,500. Then that was it. And the 3 months was to get up to speed. I got 50% of the net. So if I did a $250,000 project and the net was $80K, I got $40K. There ain't a lot of salespeople who getting that kind of bread off a deal. These companies have figured out that people will work for a steady salary. A lot of people will not take chances on themselves. And this is why I say, if you want to become a business owner, 100% commission sales job is going to tone you up for that, because if you're a business owner, guess what you're doing? You don't work, you don't sell, you don't get no money. It's like commission only. You don't sell nothing, you don't pay your employees. So that's why I say it's very much like having your own business. Oh, dang, Rainy Woman. Y'all talking about dying up in here. Let's see. In outside sales and management for 23 years. Awesome. That's extremely well for Texas. Crep TV. Do you have a general ratio of how you split up your time between research activities and money making activities? First thing you got to do is you got to do it, because there's in your mind the number or the ratios you want to have, and then there's reality. So what you do is you just go out balls to walls, because it's going to be hard for you to get your numbers. How long does it take to research your project until you do it? This is why people say, like, yeah, I had plans. It's like what men make plans and God laughs. Well, this is kind of the same thing. So after you've done it for about 30, 60 days, then it's like, okay, to do a research project is going to take me 10 hours. You're going to have a better sense of how to do it because you've done it. And this is why I'd say business plans are like Moby Dick, great works of fiction, because you'll be better off running your business for 30, 60 days, getting some numbers, and then coming back and saying, okay, this is what framework we're going to try to fit in. All right. 40 kids. That's funny. Nikki, when first starting out with a service business, now service business is lawn service, window washing, gutter cleaning. Um, you go out and knock on doors, or you have a lead generation system. A lead generation system is is like their companies, that's all they do is go out and find leads for salespeople. Now, I'm going to say something that you probably don't want to hear. The best place to start is for free. That's how you're going to get your references to advertise for other people. Man, teachers are stressed in. My mom's works in the public school system. It's really tough for teachers and their parents, and teachers are underpaid. Reggie Lee, I'm a little different. Technology sales, let's go, Dale. Once again, getting those kind of jobs, you just can't be anybody. Like IBM at one point had a 6-month training program where they made you go to training for 6 months before they let you loose on their customers. That's a whole different ball game than you're selling at an enterprise level. There's only 2,000 companies you could sell at an enterprise level. So it's way different. That's cool. All right. So, like I said, this one's going to be short. I'm getting ready to go. It won't be under here right now, but give it a few minutes, and then the options will be below. Just let you know that if you want to get some meat, you're gonna have to do meat getting activities, and that's going to be the hard stuff. That's going to be making the sales calls. That's going to be pitching people. That's going to be asking for money. Asking for money is something that many salespeople just don't do. They kind of dance around it, they hint around it, but they don't ask for the money. Seriously, we had one guy who was horrible for setting appointments, and but he was fearless. He would ask for the money like within 5 minutes of walking through the door, and he made the most of the ones he got because this boy was selling. Because he could ask for the money. He's like, well, we've gone through this. I've given you this. How about let's close this deal right now? He would ask for that money like 5 or 6 times in one presentation. Because I went with him once, and he was a huckleberry. He looked like a huckleberry. And this chick, the look on her face when he walked in was like, ew. But she's handed him that check. So So that's it. But for those who need help, there will be some stuff below, and I will probably put investing yourself up. I don't know because I haven't done the curriculum yet, so I may wait until Monday. There will be no videos this weekend. That's why I'm doing the twofers. I'm trusting some stuff out, but there will be videos Monday, and I will break out the new training. So with that, you folks have a good weekend, and I will see you later.